Everyone, my name is Chris Gaming Librarian, coming at you today with another segment of Let's Play. I know it's been a little while since I did my Jackbox Party Pack 8 stream. Of course, the joys of parenthood and finding the time to game here and there. But I have had time to game, and it has been a lot of fun. So obviously today I will be dabbling around with Forza Horizon 5, and then a bit of Call of Duty after the fact. But lately, I've been, dabbling in other games. Most recently, Guardians of the Galaxy. If you have not had the chance, I definitely would recommend going and picking that one up. I really enjoyed it. Made by Square Enix and Eidos Montreal, so the people behind Deus Ex series, but it's action packed, very linear, and so I know a lot of people complain about very linear shoehorned narratives, but sometimes it's just nice, like a good popcorn flick, to be able to sit down, play a game, and know that you're not in a massive open world. And so I took about 3 days to beat the game, laughed my butt off, really enjoyed it. Really great opportunity to get depth in on characters like Rocket Raccoon and Drax. And so my background experience with the franchise had always been through the movies, and Drax always seemed like a bit of a numbskull. Yet, this game really knocked it out of the park and made it stand out. But anyways, enough about what I've been playing. November is chock block full of games, and so I'm super excited to be playing one of these new ones. Apologies in advance if the audio is a bit off. I've just set up a new streaming setup. I am, of course, using OBS, so I'm hoping that I'm not coming through too loud, and that the game audio is coming through just crisp enough. And so, without further ado, we'll get started. Hello, Chris. How are you doing? Or, sorry, Walkabout Games. Just gonna dabble into Forza 5 officially this time around. And so, this game itself officially launches next week, but been a huge Forza fan. Been playing this series since 2005, 2004, when the first Forza came out. And so Horizon is the spin-off series, and this particular one is out for early access if you buy some of their premium editions. And so I've been playing it since last night and having a blast. Unlike Forza Horizon 4, this one is set in Mexico. I have high-pitched squeal in the background. That may be my PC. Hopefully it's not too distracting. Alright. Just trying to... Nope, because that mic should be muted. So hopefully that resolves that. But good to see that you're doing well. Oh, it is really loud. I'm wondering what might be causing this squeak. Just give me one quick moment. There shouldn't be. It is gone? Okay. That's good. I know in trying to get the new streaming setup going, I'd accidentally left the actual microphone on the headset on, and so it was picking up both voice here as well as on the mic in front of me, and so it was rather annoying. So yeah, Forza Horizon 5. This one's set in Mexico. I've been playing since last night. Absolute blast. What I enjoy about this one in particular, though, is the fact that that they have a streaming mode, and so for something like today where I'm wanting to play the game but not get copyright infringement for music being played in the background. If you just go into the settings and go down to audio, you can turn on streamer mode, and it's just I think it's DCRM safe music that plays in the background. Anyways, really fantastic game. If you do get the premium packs for the early access, they do shower you in a whole bunch of cars. And so in my collection, obviously every Forza Horizon game that I get, the first car that I always buy and trick out is the Subaru Impreza. Yeah, right? So Walkabout Games is just saying that's awesome that they have the streaming mode. I'm finding that a lot more games are providing access to that. Guardians of the Galaxy, which I was just talking about playing earlier this week, beat it in 3 days. Absolutely fantastic story. But they also had a streaming mode because the game's chock-block full of 80s music. Yeah, it's the actual Warthog from Halo. And so you can purchase it this time around, and it costs about 800,000 credits. Thankfully, I had a lot of lucky spins, and so I got the money ahead of time. But with the early access, you get a whole bunch of Forza Edition vehicles. Yeah, right? And some awesome throwbacks. If you've played past Forza Horizon games, so for example, the Charger, the Forza Edition Chargers from Forza Horizon 2, based around Fast and the Furious. Where are some of the others? The Senna McLaren, I do believe, was a cover art vehicle for Forza Horizon 4. And then you also get some really nice ones. The Cayenne Turbo S was my go-to for the longest time. And of course, the first car I picked when I started this game was the Supra. Because if you're like me, you grew up watching Fast and Furious films, and you've always wanted Paul Walker's Supra. I just haven't been able to change the colors, but I'm sure somebody has a decal that's an exact replica. Oh, I'm glad. Sorry that you were sneaking in at work to watch. I was just doing test streams at that point. I had been using another program, and the screen kept twitching. And I just got a new graphics or video capture card, the Elgato. And I'm like, there's no reason it shouldn't be working. So I have everything set up through OBS now. And so this is why I was asking, if my sound's off, let me know. Yeah, we will get started. So do a throwback to the Master Chief. Have a little bit of fun with this one. So you get a good degree of speed. Oh, you saw me go off-road? Yeah, that sounds about right. A song had come on, and you get quite the multiplier for going off-road and exploring. And I wanted to get all the points that I could. And so, very large map with this one that I quite enjoy. You get a whole bunch of free houses. But what I've been wanting to do is there's a really neat storyline around the Volkswagen Bug, or as they call it in the game, the Volco. Because if you've ever been to Mexico, everywhere around Mexico are Volkswagen Bugs, and I never understood why. And apparently it's candid history. Like, it really took off there. It's one of their best-selling vehicles, super reliable, and it's a sign of prestige to have one of these in your collection. I'm just trying to find where that next mission was. Okay, I don't want to test drive. All right. Oh, okay. See you later, Walkabout Games. Enjoy the dinner that your son cooked. And yeah, if you want to tune back in later, that would be great. There we go. There's my next story mission. Okay. See you later. So I've really always enjoyed the Forza Horizon games. The motorsport ones, I find, have always been a technical showcase of an Xbox console since the first one came out in 2004 on the original one. But when Horizon came out, it just gave it a new and unique twist that I really enjoyed. I know a lot of people have been hoping that Horizon 5 would be set in Japan before we found out that it was going to be set in Mexico. But personally, I like Mexico. I like the landscape. I like the culture. That's a nice change of pace from the UK. I know it was the developers' sort of like backyard to develop in, and so and then gave us the really awesome Lego expansion. But at the same time, it was kind of like trees and forests everywhere. And as you can tell, I drive a bit like a maniac, like crashing through things. So less trees equals a better time. Oh. Back up and get started on this one. Okay. And so, in this touring mission, I just found a Volkswagen Bug in old garage, and it's now being restored. The nice thing about this, if you have Forza Horizon 4, like all of your save files and characters transfer over, so it already knew that my name was Christopher. A Porsche 911 GT is not meant to be off-road. So, of course, November is full of games. Outside this and Call of Duty, which I've also picked up today and been playing a bit of. It's going to be Pokemon. I'm picking up the physical version of Cannon Bridge of Spirits, and I'll be excited to sort of talk about that one and do a stream on it. The other big shooter, of course, coming up this month is Battlefield 2042, and that should be a lot of fun. Of course, most excitedly, I cannot wait for Halo. As you saw earlier with me driving around in the Warthog. Yeah, so far this game has been really enjoyable. It's done a really good job of making sure that the story is varied, that you feel like you're constantly accomplishing something. guess I didn't have to follow the road. I probably should have just shortcutted it. All right. We'll go to number 1. If you have the chance and you are interested in the game, I would definitely recommend going on YouTube and watching the opening to this game. Every Forza Horizon one is over the top, but this particular one, you're racing an airplane. And you get to do it in 4 different vehicles, including the 2022 Ford Bronco, and a new all-electric Mercedes-Benz supercar. And yeah, nothing beats the opening credits of a Forza Horizon game. Alright. Give ourselves a bit of air here. I've been so spoiled by Forza Horizon 4, where all my vehicles were tricked out to the point that, you know, I could slam into a wall and not lose my save. All right. And so the Goliath, which I just unlocked, are these massive races apparently, and so the Goliath takes something like 20 minutes. So after doing this next Volkswagen Bug mission, I may do the Goliath. We'll see. It seems intimidating. And that's a lot of race to get through. So hopefully I'm going the right way. Oh, of course I flipped my Warthog. Okay, it shouldn't be this far away. Yeah, it's just coming up. I was assuming this would be it. There we go. We'll do this rally skill thing in the bullet show. All right. little bit slippy slidey to control. Being on the mud and all. Her commands of easy right, easy left make me think of a Rally Sport Challenge from back in the day. Between that and Project Gotham Racing, that's the reason I picked up Forza in the first place. Was I'm like, I love racing games similar to those two. Maybe Forza would be the same. And I haven't looked back since. Don't get me wrong, I love my Gran Turismo, but Forza just hits that good spot. And of course, reviews have been super kind to this game. IGN even gave it a 10 out of 10 yesterday, calling it a masterpiece. So, definitely worth picking up if you have Game Pass. Though this is a single player experience, you can do co-op. So if you're looking at doing a library program, like this is an option available to you. Alright, hopefully I made a good time.
Can you imagine taking this 3,000 kilometers across Mexico back in the 50s? Papa Fernando said it was proof the Watcher could do anything.
He sounds like a great guy. I wish I'd known him.
Ah, 2 stars. I came close.
It's a cross-country like my tío y tamales.
On my way.
Alright, let's see what's in the wheel spin. 50,000 credits, can't complain. And so this gives you an idea of Forza Horizon. Let's see what the Goliath is like, though. I'm really curious to see how that one goes. Now, from what I've heard, is that this is really long. So 54.5, 1 lap clearing. It's the entire map. Let's do this. but we're going to do so in a very nice sports car. I'll do it in my custom built Subaru.
Not sure if you want this information right now, but the Mexico Goliath is officially the biggest race by distance in Horizon history.
Biggest race by distance. Okay. So after this, I may do a match or two of Call of Duty and then call it a night for the stream, but let's see if we can do this race. Yeah, when I heard this one was long, it always makes me think of the Nuremberg track that used to be in Project Gotham Racing, and that track I felt like would always go on forever. Of course, when my friend Ashton would come over, back in the day when Project Gotham Racing 2 was like the big game to play on the Xbox, we would do a game mode called Cat and Mouse where you would race an Enzo Ferrari as the cat and a Mini Cooper as the mouse. And the Mini Cooper would have a 1 minute head start because, of course, its max speed is maybe 180 kilometers an hour. And then the Enzo Ferraris would start and just rip ahead and catch up. And so you color coded yourself. So me and Ashton would both be red, and it was your objective to knock the other Mini Coopers off the road and to have your Mini Cooper or mouse win. So it would often get quite dirty, the game of cat and mouse. But that race would normally take about 10 or 15 minutes. So we'll see how long this one takes in total. Well, I have it in streamer mode right now. The soundtrack is really awesome with this game. So far, I've quite enjoyed it. My own fault for crashing there. So we're going to have to play catch up. I knew my Subaru Impreza wouldn't look pristine for too long. And flipping it upside down certainly did not help. It's problematic because you get these straight stretches and you get so used to getting all the speed, and then you start get too comfortable, and then the curve comes up. You're like, I can handle this curve. No, you can't. You gotta slow down. Of course, the stream itself, on my screen, I'm running it at 1080. The stream itself is about 720p, so it doesn't do justice. Running this thing at 4K is just absolutely breathtaking. There are two modes that you can set it in, so I have it set in quality mode, which favors 30 frames per second, but higher quality in terms of everything appearing in the game world. But there's also a performance mode that allows you to have 60 frames per second, but less density of things. But with how lush this particular game world is, I can't help but want to know what it'll look like. So you got one lap and you got to make it count. Getting some clean racing, not hit the rocks. Yeah, I chose the 2015 Subaru Impreza. There is the 2018 hatchback that they did have available for purchase, but I've always enjoyed the four-door sedan version of it, and has always been a staple that I've picked since the first Forza Horizon and the 2004 Subaru Impreza WRX STI. Always get it in blue. And so Canadian to get the you can get this game, you know, free in quotation marks on Game Pass, because it's a first party Xbox Studios game. But to get the early access, the cheapest way to do so is actually to buy the premium add-on bundle, which gives you access to the welcome pack, the VIP pass, the car pass, as well as the anticipated 2 expansion packs that normally come out with every Horizon game. And so with 4, you had the Lego Championship, which was sort of the big highlight in Fortune Island. 3 was Hot Wheels, and so I'll be excited to see what franchise Playground Games taps into for the expansion pass for 5, because the Lego one was an absolute hoot. Having a Ferrari F40 entirely made out of Lego, like, you can't beat that. Also on the Nintendo front, if you haven't had a chance to play it already, Animal Crossing has had a big update. It did leak a little bit early, so on Wednesday evening I was quite surprised to be able to download the 2.0 update for my Animal Crossing game. But it's really neat. I've been working on expanding my storage. Now you can finally get Brewster to open up a cafe in your museum. Alright, so we get to visit some of the beautiful beaches along here. So the nice thing about the Goliath is that it's forcing me to explore parts of the map that I haven't explored yet. And you'll notice every once in a while a little thing pops up at the bottom saying, new road discovered. I'm notorious for not taking the roads given to me. Tells me to go somewhere. I'm like, okay, where's that little checkpoint marker? How many kilometers do I have? Okay, I'm just gonna veer off-road and go there. Yeah, so new road discovered. I've discovered over 100 of them now. So I think there's 500 something to discover in total. So if you want a good excuse to explore the world of Forza Horizon 5, this is the way to do it. So I have to admit, I will give it to the people at Playground Games for setting the game in streamer mode. I'm glad that you can still have music in the background and it's not just a quiet experience of you in the car. And so definitely getting vibes of Forza Horizon. I do believe it was 2 and 3 that had more open world concepts or like open deserty concepts to them. Or it may have been 1 and 3. One was set in Colorado and the other was set in Australia. I quite enjoyed for that reason. Now, admittedly, had I picked that Senna, may have been able to push 300 kilometers an hour. The Impreza is capping out at about 258, but hey, what can you do? So not too bad. So far, 11 minutes in. I think this is one of those races that you do once and then perhaps never again, unless you're playing online. So I haven't had a chance to explore the online suite yet, but apparently the Event Labs looks really awesome in all the previews. I can see them having like bowling matches with the cars, which looks like a lot of fun. Right, drive 20 miles in road racing. At this point, I'm going to have all the accolades. Oh, I did not even know that there was a big bridge in this game. I had not been at this point on the map yet. So yeah, definitely the kind of race to do with the podcast on. Kill the time, see the sights. But I find it offers a nice chill variant to Call of Duty and some of the shooters that I've been playing recently. Now, I gotta say, for flying off-road, I am surprised that I did not hit a tree. So yeah, just looking at how gorgeous this game is really makes me wonder what Xbox games has under its hood for the motorsport version or Forza. So when they first announced the Series X, they had talked about there being a new installment, but surprisingly enough, they've removed the numbers. So it's not Forza Motorsport 8, just Forza Motorsport. So it makes me wonder if they're going the route of Halo Infinite, where really it's the game just acts as a platform, and then from there they just build upon it with constant updates. Which I wouldn't complain about, you know, purchase the game once, then from there just get, you know, DLC packs. Kind of like a live service game. So the handling in this game is a dream. So far I've seen about 500 plus cars available. So of course with any Forza game it starts off small, but as the games tend to be supported for about 2 to 3 years, you'll see many car packs released. As I said, that premium pass, great purchase now. It's about $60 Canadian. It gives you access to all the packs and expansions coming out. So you take a gamble not knowing what's coming, but if past games are any indication, it's worthwhile. All right, and that's the finish. So 15 minutes of racing for the Goliath. Not too bad. Gotta say, that's probably one of the longest races I've done in Forza racing. All right, woot woot. Yeah, I don't think I could sit through that again either. Oh, and a charger. Nice. A Bel Air. Nice. Oh, huge experience boost. So almost 3 levels. Okay. Won't complain about 175,000 credits.
Hey Christopher, I have blueprints for a bunch of new adventures, and you have decisions to make.
And so you get to choose which one to do, and each sort of different arc that you pick has a really interesting beginning. So the Apex one I started yesterday, and you have like a little bit of a fun adventure. And I haven't done any of the rest, so I would be curious to see what. But we'll likely continue with the Apex one and just do them in sequence. Oh, Mexican car wrestling? Interesting. Okay. And so that has been it for Forza Horizon. So what I will do is with the last 20 minutes or so of my stream, I'll just switch over to Call of Duty Vanguard. Of course, so this one just released today, set in World War II. I've basically just been dabbling in the multiplayer. There's something very nostalgic about being able to play in World War II. It was my first introduction to Call of Duty with Call of Duty 2 on the 360 on launch day. And so ever since, anytime there's been a World War II specific Call of Duty, I'll always try to pick it up. So the last one, of course, being Call of Duty World War II. But I heard that there was a lot of fantastic writers, and so I will be open and honest. I do not support Activision. I do not support sort of their treatment of their developers, the treatment of their teams. And if you are not informed, please take the time to look up articles, listen to podcasts about Activision Blizzard, about some of the things going on, and how, as a whole, what's going down at Activision is sort of a big call out to the game industry as a whole to sort of change their ethical practices. But there were a lot of fantastic people who worked on this game, a lot of podcasters and game journalists turned game writers who put a lot of work into this game, and so I wanted to support them, and that's why I picked up Call of Duty today. Yeah, so without further ado, as we wait for things to update, so your typical screen, you have your Access Warzone, Cold War, Modern Warfare. I like how everything is just a launcher now. Until we'll hop into some of the multiplayer. It's been a lot of fun. My go-to always is the submachine gun. And some team deathmatch. And I'll just move myself up into the corner up there. So it's been a bit slow, I have found, to pick up a match. Probably just as people load into the game. I imagine once Black Friday rolls along, you'll have a lot more people joining in. I was very sad. There was a whole bunch of calling cards that had come out, and there was one with a Santa on his sleigh with all the reindeer coming out of flames, because why not? And I had that one, and then they took it away. I think it needed to be updated, but they also had some really cool classic like World War II propaganda art, like calling cards, that I think eventually you can unlock. So I do not claim to be a skilled Call of Duty player. So be prepared to watch me die a lot. But if you're looking for classic Call of Duty to scratch that itch, and you like older style Call of Duty games, this one is definitely worth it. The campaign is very unique. Goes through the narrative of 4 different heroes, loosely based on the story, the personal narratives of those who served in World War II. So, for example, the infamous female sniper for the Soviets, who forever eluded the Germans. So Call of Duty, I always find, is one of those ones that's a bit mindless, kind of like Hollywood popcorn flick of video games, but that's the trick. I will once I've had the chance to play through the campaign. Comment on what I think of the game as a whole. But overall, it's been a fun experience so far. Definitely excited to try out the futuristic approach to Battlefield when the time comes. Oh, well. That counted as their kill, but I think I would have blown myself up with a grenade otherwise. Yes. Somebody had to end that reign of terror. Gotta enjoy the grenade that explodes immediately upon impact. And I will give it credit for being based in World War II. It does have a faster pace, more fluid pace to the combat. So if you enjoyed Black Ops last year, you'll be getting more of the same with this one. The spawns do need work though. It can sometimes be very, very unfavorable. All right. It's about the only time I'm ever effective at melee is when they are AFK. Otherwise, I tend to be on the losing side of those duels. So not too bad. So it gives you an idea. We'll do one more match of Call of Duty. Yeah, again, I can't say much about it. It's definitely more of the same. There's a neat MVP mechanic at the end that you get to vote for who was your favorite standout from the match. I've made it to the plays of the game, but have yet to win the MVP. I usually try to go for the lowest leveled person because I imagine it gives them a bit of an XP boost. So definitely, if you are in library land, I would highly recommend Forza Horizon. One of a kind racing game, and you're not going to be at a loss to have it in your collection. Of course, for Call of Duty, I mean, it's like a Hollywood popcorn flick. It's going to be one of those ones that if you add, it will circulate. Do be mindful, though, with going forward, that with a lot of these ones, what is happening? Ooh, that is tempting. Okay, so we'll do that. Ooh, incendiary damage. All right. But yes, thing to be mindful of when picking up this game is, of course, depending on which generation of console you're playing on, you may need to pay extra. I'll apply Ninja. might as well. And I say this because it's $10 more. This is how you tell, and you get the cross-gen bundle. So I'm playing on the Xbox Series X right now, and in order to reap the benefits, similar to Cold War last year, of the next-gen experience, you have to get these cross-gen bundles. Battlefield's can be much the same. And so you don't just get a free upgrade to the best version, unfortunately. Alright, so new map to play on. The only downfall with an MP40 is that it does not have any form of a range to it. Sometimes you luck out with the long shot, but not too often. And so yeah, if you're playing on last gen series of consoles, you do not need to worry. You can just get the, well, in Canada, the $80 version, and it'll serve you well. Just know that if you do end up going and picking up a Series X, or if you have a PlayStation 4, for example, and you're wanting to bump up to the PlayStation 5 eventually, that you need to invest in the $10 more copies of these games to reap the full benefits. Oh, okay. I was right on top of a grenade. No. In rounds like these, I feel like I can never quite get a grip on who's shooting me and from where. I'm definitely a close quarters combat person. Wow. So Joel EB, I tip my hat to you. That was an impressive airstrike. Oh boy. This was a rough round for my team. This is, oh, Boba Fett, you know, we were all clustered together. Huh. Valiant attempt. Ooh. Triple kill. I will take it. Wait for the care package to come. See what there is. Believe it or not, with my skills, this is the first care package I've ever received. Well, this is mildly terrifying. So we may not win, but we gave it a valiant effort. The nice thing about playing on Team Deathmatch, if you haven't noticed, between the 2 rounds, is that it will switch on what the numbers are. So it can go all the way up to, so far I've seen 12v12, but you can often you get 6v6 or 7v7, which is a nice balance for these games. All right. Well, that was it. I hope you enjoyed my stream. I really wanted to highlight Forza, but also dabble a little bit in Call of Duty, because as you can tell, my skills aren't great. But thank you for tuning in. As November is a busy month for games, hopefully you will start seeing me more often. And because I don't have tech issues anymore, and I have finally figured out a good streaming equivalent, I will try to start streaming more often. So we'll just wrap this up, do the vote. And close out the match. But yeah, this has been Chris the Gaming Librarian coming at you. I hope you've enjoyed your time and keep an eye open. Next week I'll probably be doing a stream on Shin Megami Tensei 5. And then the week after that, I will be looking at Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Battlefield 2042. Not 2040. No, 2049. 2049. Okay. All right. See you later and have a great night. Bye.